What would an extra $300 a month in your budget mean to you right now? And I'm not talking about some crazy thing. I'm talking about literally taking the what you're doing right now and making it more effective and efficient and finding on average $300. When I sit down with my clients, on average, we find $300 per month, not one time, per month. If you would like to know my 3-step process to helping my clients find an average of $300 a month, and I've had some clients find $600 or $700 and even $800 per month that they're able to put back into their budget. If you'd like to know my 3-step process, then you're going to want to watch this video. My name is Cluff, and I'm a financial coach. I've been helping people manage, protect, and grow their money for over 20 years. And so I'd love to help you learn my 3-step process. This is what I do when I sit down with my clients for the very first time. If you want to have this guide right here, go ahead and click in the description below and get my guide for my 3-step process to help you over the next 30 days put an average of $300 back into your budget. When I sit down with my clients, one of the first things that I'll do is I'll ask them a little bit about their current financial situation. The first questions out of my mouth are, how much money do you make? How much money are you spending? What do you have in savings? What is your debt? How much do you have in investments? What is your insurance? What are you doing to protect yourself against loss? So one of the first things that I do with a client is figure out what we can do to help get them to a positive cash flow. But the first step is to maximize your income. And when I say maximize your income, I'm talking about your current income. Yes, you should get a side hustle. Yes, you should grow your income. But if you don't learn to live within your income or within your means, you're not going to make it. The first step to financial freedom and financial independence is learning how to manage your money, learning how to discipline your spending. But in step one, the very first thing that I talk to people about is how much was last year's tax return. And if they say anywhere from 3 to 4,000 or more, I absolutely know how I can free up immediately and put money back into their checks every single month, back into their bank account, back into their budgets every single month. Now, one of the things that most people do is they overpay the IRS. They fill out their Form W-4 incorrectly. So my first step with all of my clients is to fill out the Form W-4 correctly. I'll put a link in the description below for you to be able to go and download the current year's Form W-4. If you're an employee, you can actually ask your firm's, your company's HR department to give you the Form W-4. Now, the instructions are right on the form, super easy to do. If you're nervous about it, frankly, you can go to a CPA or a tax preparer and you can have them help you. But I promise you, if you follow the instructions right on the form, it's absolutely easy for you to do. Now, why would you want to do that? Now, most people don't realize, but that extra money you're paying to the IRS is a loan you're giving them that they're literally giving back to you at the end of the year. They don't pay you any interest on it. Now, why would you do that? You don't go to the grocery store and overpay and then at the end of the year hope the grocery store gives you the money back that you overpaid. That's not what you do with groceries. It's not what you do with any other entity that you pay. So why would you do it with the IRS? It doesn't make any sense. So maximize your income with Form W-4, filling it out correctly. That's the first step that I talk to all my clients about. That usually puts anywhere from $200 to $400 a month back into their budget within 1 to 2 pay cycles. Now, the average nationwide, the average is about $3,000 to $4,000 in tax returns for most Americans. So that literally puts $300 back into your bank account right then and there. The second step is looking back over the last 90 days. One of the first things that we try to do when I talk to my clients is set up a budget that actually works with their current spending habits. Most people, when they set a budget and they try to change their spending habits right out the gate, they set a budget that's unrealistic, that has nothing to do with their current savings habits, and they fail. And then they wonder why the budget didn't work. So you want to look back over the last 90 days, find out where you've been. Now, the best way to move forward is to know where you are. Now, the best way to know where you are is to know where you've been. And quite frankly, I'm a little nervous to find out where some of you have been. In terms of financial speaking, where you've been is looking back over the last 90 days of your bank statements, the last 90 days of your credit card statements. Anywhere you spend money, look back over the last 90 days. Now, why would I say 90 days, not 30 days? Because you're going to get an average over 90 days. Now, you can go back 120 days. You can go back 6 months for all I care. But 90 days is a pretty good way for you to establish a pattern of spending that you have at certain things. So the first thing you want to do when you establish this 90-day program is figure out, one, how you're going to do it. Well, you can download all your bank statements, all your credit card statements, and then you can open a spreadsheet and you can go through each one of the costs and you can see where you spent all your money and you can categorize it. And you can do it all with a spreadsheet, which is what I did originally. And back in the day, it was on paper and a spreadsheet. But nowadays, there's some fantastic financial technology. There's some apps that you can use. And one of my favorites is called WizeFi. WizeFi is a fantastic way for you to be able to track. It literally synchronizes with all your bank accounts, with all of your credit cards, and it brings in all the transactions, and you just click a button and say, categorize, categorize, categorize. Super simple, super easy. When you're done categorizing, you can set a budget. You can actually set averages. You can kind of track where you're going moving forward. It'll even tell you, if you put in the right numbers the correct way, it'll even tell you the exact month and year that you'll be debt free. Wouldn't you like to know that? I would. I was super excited when I found this app. I was like, of all the apps that are out there, this one is one of my faves. Click the link in the description below for a free 30-day trial of WizeFi. You're gonna love it. At least I did. And a lot of my clients really like it too. In fact, one of my clients who was really averse to budgeting said, Paris, this is actually really fun to go through and categorize all my transactions and see where I'm spending my money. So if you look back over the last 90 days, you'll get a good average moving forward. And that's the best thing you can do. If you do it on a spreadsheet or piece of paper, make sure to keep each of the last 3 months separate so that you can then take an average over those 3 months. And then moving forward, that's going to be your budget. Now, moving forward is my third step. What are you going to do for the next 30 days to decrease your expenses? Now, the first expenses you start with are all the expenses that are called variable expenses. There's two kinds of expenses. One is fixed. That's your mortgage. That's your car payment. That's the fixed expense that can't change. You can't change it no matter what you do. Well, unless you moved, I guess you could change your mortgage. But typically a fixed expense is one of those expenses that's the same every month and it doesn't go up or down. It just stays the same and it's every month. A variable expense, however, is an expense that you have control over. It's how much gas you're putting in your car. It's how often you're going out to eat. It's your entertainment. It's your whatever you're doing to spend money above and beyond your fixed expenses. Those variable expenses are the ones that you start with. They're the easiest to change, they're the easiest to eliminate, and they're the easiest to reduce if you need to. So I would start with one category. Let's say it's going out to restaurants. So that's the first one I would start with. And then I would track every single time you go out to a restaurant or out to eat that you track how much you're spending. And then by the end of the month, you'll know, was it in accordance with the average over the last 3 months? You're going to track everything and it's going to be tedious. That's why I highly recommend using a FinTech app like WizeFi, is because it's super easy to log in on your phone, categorize it as you're making the expenses, as you're spending the money. You can categorize it right there. Otherwise, carry around a little notepad or something that you can keep track of every night. Keep track of all your receipts, then write in all your receipts, but keep track every day for the first week or so. Once you've established a habit, then I would move to every week start tracking. What's good about this is that over the next 30 days, you're going to see, am I on track to hit the average over the last 30 days or 90 days? Or am I going to overspend this month? Or can I actually cut back and free up some cash flow to be able to get out of debt, to be able to start saving and building up a savings account? One of the things that I really like helping people do is building savings accounts for things that they're going to spend money on. Don't buy things on credit cards. Start buying things with money you already have in savings. What a fantastic concept. Buy things with money you already have in savings. If you'd like to buy things with money you already have in savings, then comment below, I want to buy things with money I already have in savings. And while you're on your way, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I hear that hitting subscribe is the fastest way to save a ton of money and work towards your massive bank account. I'd love to hear how much money you were able to find and put back into your budget over the next 30 days. If you want to have this sheet, if you want to have the 3 steps written out for you already with a little description, in the description below, I have a link that says get the free guide. Click that link, get the free guide, download that free guide, and then you can have it and you can look at it and you can go through it on your own. I hope this video helps you free up some cash flow and put more money back into your bank account, back into your budget. Goodness knows we all need it right now. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next video.